Okay. Hello, welcome everyone. We are here today to do a first look at the Autodesk content catalog. My name is Paul F. Hobbin, and I'm an author and consultant for the AEC industry, and also a LinkedIn Learning author with many courses on the platform, mostly on Revit, but on a few other topics as well, including the Autodesk Construction Cloud, which is what the content catalog is part of. So more on that in a few moments. But I appreciate everyone being here today. This is my first time doing one of these live events, so I'm just going to come right out and say that. So, be kind. But I'm sure it's going to be a good time. So let me just start with a little bit about the background of why I decided to do this today here. So first, let me start with Autodesk Construction Cloud. So if you are a Revit user and you want to use Revit work sharing, but do it in the cloud, then there's a pretty good chance you've already discovered Autodesk Construction Cloud, because this is the feature that, or the tool set rather, that allows you to access that feature and save your central models in the cloud and collaborate with other users in the cloud. So this has been around for a while. It's gone through several iterations. And today I'm going to be looking at a very specific feature that's been recently added to the Autodesk Construction Cloud. Now, the reason I decided to do it this way was because I'm thinking of previous features in the past that were added, things like parameters as a service, and also just projects in general, where you go in and you try out this new feature, and maybe you do a test project, or maybe you want to set things up just to kind of noodle around and see how it works. And then you realize that there's no undo, or there's no going back. And you're like, now what? That test project that I set up, I didn't like that. So you say, oh, I'll just delete that test project. But then in the Construction Cloud, you can't delete any projects. So you have to archive it. And that's not a big deal, but it was a little frustrating to me. And I started watching some YouTube videos on this Autodesk Construction Cloud content catalog feature. And everybody had already done the setup already, because I suspected it was exactly like the parameters as a service, or it was exactly like the the projects and so on, that once you set it up, you're done. You've set it up already and you can't go back. So I thought it would be fun, and again, we'll find out together. I thought it would be fun to do this live with you here today, so that you can see firsthand what it looks like the first time you click on that button and say, I want to set up my my Autodesk content catalog. And I just haven't watched all the videos, so maybe there's a video out there that covers this. But even Autodesk's own videos on the subject, which I have an example right here. So this is a general page talking about the Content Cloud feature, right? So you can visit this page if you like. And then they have a YouTube channel where they have some videos, and even their own videos don't actually show the setting up of the initial setup. They just show what happens after it's already been set up and how to use the feature. And these videos are short and definitely worth watching. But that's the piece that I wanted to try and plug in to fill in here, is how that initial setup takes place. Now, it could turn out to be that maybe it's just something super simple, and I've overhyped this, but we'll find out together. So anyway, that's what we're here to do today. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and get this rolling here. So let me just hide that, and then give me a little bit more screen real estate here. And then I'm just going to go to a new page. And the way that I always get into the Autodesk Construction Cloud is I just start typing ACC, and the full path is acc.autodesk.com. And that's going to take me into my Autodesk Construction Cloud. Now, to facilitate this, I'm actually going to log in differently than I normally would. So instead of logging in as myself, I'm going to log in as two different people. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to log in as this user here, which is a user that does have admin level access to the project that I want to work in. Okay, so I'm going to sign in, and what I suspect is that, and again, I'm doing this kind of first time here. So I've got a little contingency plan. You kind of see me glancing down. I've got some notes here, and I've got a little contingency plan on what I want to cover. So I'm going to try logging in here as Zachary first and going right in and setting it up. I'm not sure if Zachary needs a license to the Autodesk Construction Cloud in order to do this, or if just simply being an admin level user is sufficient. So that's the first thing that we're going to figure out here together. Okay. Now, Zachary is an admin level user in this account. And I do know that that is required because you need to get to this button right here, the account admin. So if the account that you're logging into acc.autodesk.com does not have the account admin button, then you won't be able to do what I'm going to be showing today. Okay, so you do need to have that admin level access. But let me just show you really quick what it would look like with a user that doesn't have that admin level access. So I'm going to jump out and then jump right back in as a different user. This is just a project member, right? Standard project member. And notice that this user does not have that admin button. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. If you don't see the admin button here, then you need to talk to whomever it is at your company is responsible for setting up your Autodesk Construction Cloud, and either ask them to set up the content catalog, or if it's your job to do it, then you need to be added as an admin level user. Okay, so let me switch back out again here, and I will go back in as Zachary. And so the next thing that we're going to see is whether or not Zachary has to have an active license to BIM Collaborate Pro. I've got a license that I can assign to him, but I want to see if I need to do that or if just simply being an account admin is sufficient. Okay, so let's try that out. So I'm going to click on account admin, and that's going to take me to the admin page for this account right here that I have set up. So over here on the left-hand side are the tabs, and this is as far as I've gone before today's recording. We go to library, and in library, you're going to see a number of things. And I mentioned the parameters as a service a little bit earlier. That's here as well. So if you want to, if you've never set up parameters as a service and you want to set that one up, that's also one of these things where once you set it up, there's kind of no going back, right? So the two things I'm kind of talking about, parameters as a service, but this is the one that I want to click on here today. So I've never clicked this button before. This is going to be the first time. We're going to do it here together, right? So I'm going to click on content catalog and see what happens. Okay, so it's telling me, you know, welcome, right? And it's saying this is where I can centralize and manage my content. I sort of get that. There's a terms of service here, right? So start using the content catalog. So the reason I haven't clicked on this button before is because I suspected we would see some button like this, and I didn't want to click it, and then that's it. We can't, you know, we can't see it again. It's gone, right? Once you've done it that one time. So I'm clicking it now, and we will see what questions, if any, it asks me here. So far I'm a little underwhelmed. There we go. I'm glad we saw something happen there, right? And so it looks as though now it's just taken me right into that content catalog page that I've seen in a lot of the other videos that I've watched. And now there's a create content collection button that appears right here. Now, default collection is interesting. It looks like something that got created automatically. It says internal collection. So before I create my own, I'm actually going to click into this and see what's in there, if anything. All that's really telling me is the date that it was created, date and time that it was created. Okay, so let's go ahead and click this create new content collection next then, and see what we get here. So of course we've got to give it a name, and this is always the thing where, you know, you're testing this out. Like, what do I call it? Do I call it test or something like that? And what I'm going to do instead is, since I'm logged in as this Pinnacle Design Architects here, I'm going to call this you know, something like Pinnacle Default Library. Okay. Now, you have your own potential naming conventions that you want to use in your company, so you can call this whatever you want. But what I'm envisioning that this is going to be is just sort of like the basic starter catalog that all projects are going to have access to. And then you could always create additional collections that would be for either specific types of projects. Maybe you could have a residential collection, a commercial collection. Maybe you would have one for a specific project, airport, terminal ABC or something, things like that. The description, I'm assuming, is optional, but, I'll just say standard content for all projects, just to have something in there. If I type something in, then we'll see where that shows up elsewhere. Okay. So now I'm going to click save over here. So far, it's pretty straightforward. And now I have these two different collections here. So if I click into that default one, what is not really clear to me here is exactly how I'm going to get content into this. So let me try looking at these other tabs here. Let's try channels. Okay, that's interesting. Autodesk out-of-the-box content is in 30 channels. I'm not sure if I don't think that's probably something they give us by default. And then user groups here. Okay, so I've got the collection. So maybe the rest of this takes place. Maybe this is where Zachary does need a license. Let me try logging out and logging in as myself and see if that's the case. So I'm going to sign out here. And I can assign Zachary a license if necessary. I just wanted to see how far he could get without a license to BIM Collaborate Pro. And it looks like setting it up, sorry, I have two-factor turned on for my own account, so I have to use my little authenticator here. Okay, don't ask me again on this device. All right, and then I will go into maybe this one, do account admin. Okay, so now I'm in account admin again for Pinnacle Design as myself this time. Now I'm going to go to library and click on content catalog and see if there's any difference here. So there's what I just created. So you can see it's already there, right? So this is why I wanted to do this whole session in the first place, because you don't get another shot at this. So even though I'm logged in as a different user right now, if somebody in my company has already started the process, then I'm stuck with whatever test channels and other things that they decided to do, right? So now maybe it's edit right here. I got user groups and let's see. So I probably have to add myself, which seems silly to me, but I guess that's probably what has to happen here. Sorry, I clicked add, but I don't see any place to name this group. So let me just turn on all of these things here. I expected to be able to name it. I'm when I was talking with my producer Shelby about this early on, I said it could turn into a stump the chump, and we're starting to get to that point. So let me see here if adding another. I mean, I have full admin rights, so let me back up here. We've got our Pinnacle library. There's user groups over there is what we just looked at. If I edit that, it's just, oh, here we go. Why didn't I do that a moment ago? So here we go. All right, so let me add myself. I'll add Zachary. Let's try that. There's no save button though. Why not? Oh, we got to assign them to a collection. Okay. All right, so let me back up and show you what I just did. Let me cancel that. Confirm that I'm canceling. Okay, so I jumped over here to user group and I clicked on my account admin group. Okay, so I suppose I'm still not quite sure how I add another group, but let's start with the account admin. And then I clicked edit here. And then once I'm in here, I chose the users I wanted to add to that admin group. That's myself and Zachary. We're the two account admins. But then you need to actually add that to at least one collection. So I could check both of these, but I don't know that default collection. I don't think I'm going to use that one. So I'm just going to do the default library, the one that we created together a moment ago. And now it looks like I can save this. Okay, so feels like we're making progress now. I'm still bothered by this, that it doesn't seem, there we go. So now I guess you have to have an admin group before you can add another group. So maybe this one is architects, right? So you could maybe have different content groups or different user groups for different kinds of content. So maybe the architects are going to have a one collection of content and the MEP folks are going to have a different collection. I don't know. I'm sort of making this up as I go along here. But I'll add that to the Pinnacle library as well. And then here, you should be able to type in users that are already in the account. So that user that I logged in a moment ago that didn't have the admin button, his name is Shad. So I could add him, for example, as part of this group right here. And of course, I could add myself, right? Because I would probably want to have access to all the groups and maybe even Zachary, right? So I could add us, and you can see you have to. This part I did watch a video on the YouTube channel. It was one of those 4 videos that I pointed out to you right here. I forget which one of these videos it is, but one of those videos talked about you can add users as long as they're already members in this project, right? So I'm going to add each of these users, and then I'll just check all of them right here and save that. But those members had to be members already back here, right? So all of these people here, I can add to my catalogs. Okay, so it's up to you when you're in there, how you want to structure the groups and which members should be part of each of those groups. So now I have 2 of them. I have the admin account and I have the architects, and those contain slightly different members there. Okay, now channels. I think channels are kind of like collections of content, although we do have collections as well. So I'm not 100% sure the difference between collections and channels, to be honest with you. But let's see if now, I still don't know how to put content into this, and that's the missing piece now, right? Because if I edit this, it's just going to take me back here again. So that's not what I want. So maybe this next piece has to take place inside of Revit. And if there's a plugin, I'm not aware of it. So, interesting. Well, yeah, I might stop it there and see, save that one for the next time. We've successfully gotten the feature turned on and gotten some users in there. I mean, I'm in Revit. Let me just quickly see if it's obvious to me, but it might require a plugin. And if that's the case, I have to figure out where to get that plugin. So I'm just going to start a new file here and see. If it's not immediately obvious to me, then we'll stop here for today and I'll take some questions. But before I do that, let me just see if maybe I'm going to look at add-ins or possibly manage. Yeah, nothing's jumping out at me. So there's probably a plugin that's required for content catalog if I had to take a guess. Although it should have said that in the screen over there if that was the case. Where's the search here? I'm not seeing search. There. Content catalog. No, that's not it. All right. Well, we'll stop there for today. I think I've achieved what I hoped to do for today, which was at least getting our initial setup configured, getting some content into that collection is the next piece that I need to figure out. And we'll save that for another time, I guess. But Shelby, do we have any questions? Maybe somebody knows. It is an extent. It's in the extensions for Revit. Okay, extensions for Revit. Okay, I see somebody. Who is that? Jason. Thank you. So you've done this before. So I've got to install it though, right? It's not just going to be in a tab already for me. So okay. So I would go to my account. I'm assuming. Wait, could you show that again? That comment there, I missed it. At manage.autodesk. Okay, so I would go to my account and do that. So for folks that have never done that before, oh, I suppose I should leave this open and do it in a new tab. I'll do that as myself. Manage.autodesk.com, and then you would go to your products, or possibly product updates, right? And you should see the extensions here. So, but it would take too long for me to install it here live. So I don't think I'll do the install right now, but let me just search for it. I hate when it does that. You click in a field and then it takes you out of there. There we go. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so that's the missing piece, right? So I can download that, get it installed. Probably have to quit Revit. I don't think you can install it while Revit's running. And then once we've got that, I can start uploading content to the catalog. Now, one thing I did see in the video is that it can be families, but it can be other things. It's not just Revit stuff. So it supports a number of different file formats. And I believe you can even upload projects and it can harvest out of the current project. So whether you have to upload the project or whether you just say, take all the families out of this project, but it can harvest the content out of a current project. And I believe it supports all the standard formats you would expect, DWGs and image files and things like that. So so yeah, we'll have to schedule another one where I actually upload some content to the content catalog. What other questions do we have, or comments maybe? Okay. Hey, Carla, nice to see you. It's been a long time. Channels might be breaking down by content type or maybe architecture, exactly, content for schools, churches. Yeah, exactly. So channels, so Carla's making some suggestions on how we might use channels. And I think that makes total sense. So if your firm does different kinds of projects, you know, sometimes you do education projects or sometimes you do commercial projects, you could have channels that have content that are focused on those particular types of projects so that you could just make it easier for folks to find the stuff that they need for that kind of project that they're in, and they don't have to sift through all the other stuff, right? Or not. You could have just one big channel for everything. It depends on your firm and your business model and what makes the most sense to you. So I think it's really up to you. Okay, Aditya, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Just started to do this for my team and it's super handy. Once the families start getting uploaded, filtering and sorting becomes really easy since it inherently extracts information. Yes, I did see that in the video as well. So back here on my on that YouTube channel that I was telling you about, these are like 2-3 minutes long. Each of these videos on the so if you just search for the Autodesk Building Solutions YouTube channel, and then there's a playlist for content catalog, and that's what I'm looking at right here. It did mention that when it uploads the content, it starts extracting tags from that content. So it'll be things like the Revit category and maybe the folder it's in and other kinds of useful information. And then you can even add your own tags, and that just makes it easier for you to search for things and find those items. So we can do some of that maybe in the next one there. So yeah, thanks for that. Oh, and a second comment, you can also add sheets and views. Have seen samples, but not tried this yet. Okay, well, that gives both of us something to try, right? That you can add sheets and views to that. Okay, great. What else we have? All right. Just need to, channels are the Autodesk content libraries. Just need to select which ones. Oh, so Claudio is saying that there are, I assume you mean that there are built-in content libraries, built-in channels that that access the Autodesk content library. So if you installed the content locally in Revit, you would have a series of folders in Revit. In fact, I had a shortcut on my desktop that goes right to one of those folders. So I'm going to just open that right now. Is that still sharing? Yeah, it's still sharing there, right? So this was just the US Imperial content folder, but if I back up a couple steps here, these are the libraries that you can install if you choose to install the content in Revit. You don't have to, right? When you're installing the software, you get that option. And if I read your comment correctly, what you're saying is that there's built-in channels for each one of these, and that makes sense that they would provide that. So you can access those separately. What will be interesting for me to see is how over time, or if over time, this replaces the the load Autodesk family feature that has been in Revit for the last few releases. So currently, load Autodesk family is just Autodesk content. You aren't able to add your own content. Content catalog now is giving us the ability to add our own content and build our own libraries. So eventually, I could imagine where load Autodesk family might kind of get merged in and just basically become these channels that Autodesk provides. I mean, I'm not sure why they would want to maintain two separate tools, one for theirs and one for everybody else's, but we'll see. I don't have any inside information on that. Is there a way, so Nick is asking, is there a way to manage the transfer and upload of content from other platforms, previous versions of Unifi? I do not know the answer to that. I'm sorry. I literally went into this blind on purpose because I wanted to see just how hard it was or how easy it was to set up your new catalog. So I can look into that answer for the future, and when I do schedule another one of these, we can look into that. But at the moment, I do not have the answer to that. But for those of you that don't know, content catalog actually came from Unifi. Unifi was a third-party tool, and they were actually purchased by Autodesk, and it's been rebranded and designed into what we're now seeing as the content catalog feature. So that much I know. I just don't know the answer to the other part of your question. So. All right. We got any more, Shelby? How are we doing? She's looking. Oh, there's one from Jason. Hey, Jason. Okay. Oh, okay. He's replying to Nick for me. Thank you, Jason. No migration from Unifi for content catalog as of yet. Early next year, maybe. Okay. Well, there you go. So as every new feature goes, sometimes it takes a little while for them to incorporate in the things that folks are asking for. So hopefully we'll see that soon. And thanks for jumping in there, Jason, and helping me out with that. So this is part first look, part stump to chump, part community, community Q&A session. I love it. So, all right, we're good. Well, I think we scheduled it for 30 minutes. We're just about there. So I guess I'll kind of, oh, there we go. See, I was just stalling a little to give time for another question or two. Hari asked, does it look similar to Unifi? I never had Unifi. Sorry, I can't answer that one either. So maybe we'll ask Jason to jump back in and answer that one. But I'm guessing no. It looks more like Autodesk Construction Cloud to me. So it looks like they kind of gave it a facelift and kind of made it match the branding of Autodesk Construction Cloud. But that's just from my first look here with you today. That's what I saw. But I don't know what Unifi looked like. So possibly it was just a coincidence, right? So not sure. Hayden asks, so are we sure if we can or cannot harvest from container files? My understanding is we can harvest from container files. That at least it was what one of the YouTube videos that I watched last night said on that playlist that I mentioned to you. So go check that out on YouTube. Go check out that playlist. Each of those videos is 2 or 3 minutes long, so you can watch the whole playlist in just a few minutes. And one of them, unless I heard it wrong, one of them distinctly said that you could harvest out of, you could have a project open on screen, and then you could tell it to take the families out of that, and it would show you a dialog that would allow you to pick and choose which categories, which items you wanted to include, and it would upload them for you. So yeah, that's my understanding. Jason's back in. Thanks, Jason. It is similar, but the UI is updated to match ACC. Okay, great. Yeah, that's what I suspected. So fantastic. Thanks for that. Juan is asking, do we have a video series covering data extraction? Do I have a video? No, I do not. But I don't know. Maybe I'll add it to the list. That could be a good future topic. But at the moment, I do not have anything like that. But who knows? Okay, Naga is saying today I just downloaded. It's pretty handy to manage multiple projects in library elements. Well, that's great. I'm glad you're like it. I'm actually kind of anxious to dig in. I think right after I'm done, I'm going to start setting up my my library too. It looks like it'll be pretty nice. So looking forward to it. All right. And this is a LinkedIn user. Will there be a recording of this presentation? Yes, we did record it. And I don't want to overpromise just yet, but I'm hoping to use parts of this video in a future course. So we'll see. That's just right now a planning thing for me. I haven't actually planned out or gotten contracted out on that course yet. But if all goes to plan, then I hope that this would be probably video one, or at least parts of this video would be video one in a future course. But we'll have to see. I'm not sure yet whether that'll happen. Not there. I'm a little new to Revit. Okay, that's fine. But is there something? Let's see. Welcome to Revit. It's uphill from here. Oh, nice, Jeff. Very good. Come on now. It's not all that bad. I was going to be a little more positive. I was going to say, welcome to Revit, and if you've got a specific question, fire away. Otherwise, check out my stuff on LinkedIn Learning. I've got plenty of courses to help you get up and running. So, okay. Well, now we're officially over time. So thanks for all the extra questions there at the end. I love it when people participate. That's awesome. Thank you guys for making this fun and smooth for me. If I had come to do a live and nobody showed up, it would have been a real bummer. So I'm really happy that you were all here. And until next time, we'll see you then. Thank you.